All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Informal Arena. I'm so happy to have you guys here, and I would like you to, introduce yourselves to our viewers. Starting from you.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Favor. Dr. Favor Mchapu.
Hey!
I'm here on Informal Arena today, so you guys, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure being here.
Yes.
Thank you for the invite. My name is Henry Obed.
Obed Noni.
And like I said, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Thank you guys for honoring my invitation. So today's topic is dynamic, right? So I say it's dynamic because it's something that cuts across every family that where we come from. Like, almost every family, really. As Africans, as Nigerians in particular, I would say that we all have an idea about how these things work. And this topic is called navigating family dynamics. So, but our focus tonight is going to be on the question: why always the daddy side? When there's this belief that the daddy's side is always the problem, father's side always the problem. I mean, that is the mindset that I grew up with. So I don't know about you guys, and maybe from tonight you're going to get your perspective on that. But I know that the regular thing, maybe the general rule is that this side is always the problem. Maybe there are exceptions, but we'll get to find out. So my first question is: growing up, how was your father's side portrayed to you? How did they present your father's side to you? Because I know, before you answer, because I know that in families, sometimes when you are born into a family, you are either made to face more on the mother's side or the father's side, depending on the family, right? So you are more indebted to a particular side of the family. So, but how was it for you?
When you talk about family dynamics, right, it cuts across various ethnic groups in Nigeria.
Yes.
But the key thing we need to understand is I feel like it's different for every family.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because people are different, right? You might be born into a family where everybody just seems cool and as acting sensible. In as much as not everybody acts sensible, not everybody gets sense.
Yes.
You just you just find out you are getting along with people. But yes, again, you are right. Right? For some family, they will tell you the mother will always tell you, oh, your dad's uncle, be careful of it. Just chipping in some words by attitude or by what she say or by rejecting invitation to go visit families on your dad's side, just to give you that. And when you put all these clues together, you start finding out that you're being coerced to like pick a side. So I can agree with you, but again, if we look at it in a broad way, I feel like it differs.
Yes, that's why I said there are many perspectives to it. So my experience may not be your experience. And that's why I'm asking you guys, what was your experience like?
Honestly,
You have to be honest.
yes, my mom didn't have to do much. I had to see for myself.
Okay.
That's why I said, but I had to see when I began to come of age, right? And I saw by the character of uncles and cousins from my dad's side that okay, I just don't want to associate a lot with them. You understand? Then again, it was the same thing from my mom's side at some point.
So you had it bad at
You
both ends.
understand? Because this family thing, it goes a long way. Every family have issues. It takes the grace of God and understanding and maturity to navigate through it. Right? And I say this because on my own mother's side, amongst their siblings, they still do the favoritism. Okay, this is the favorite sister, this is the favorite brother, all those things. And it didn't really portray togetherness.
Mm.
So my mom would still like tell us, oh, watch out for my sister. Oh, I know my sister. They can be this, they can be that. But as time goes on, I had to see for myself and like break free from everything. I'm like, okay, I'm old enough. let them do it to me. Let me see. You understand? So I can make my own decision to know if these people are good or if these people. So
So how did that um thing affect you growing up?
uh, I would say both positively and negatively. Negatively because you feel like you don't really have a lot of family to travel to. The only family you know are your immediate family, mother, father, brothers, and sisters. But positively because it helps you build independence, and it just sharpens your mind to know that you are your own person. You have to fight for yourself. But when I like I said, when I now got of age, I was able to clarify myself more and see clearly what's going on around me and choose to say, okay, I will mingle with this person and see if they do this to me and see if what my
What
mom
mom
said
said is
is
true or
true
not?
or not. So that's
So
just
at that time, it was based off on what you were told.
yes. But for my own dad side, it
Yes,
was based off what I was seeing,
at
their
the time.
actions. Yes. So yeah.
So
I think,
yeah,
I think it boils down to, how in a family just one person is successful.
hmm,
Like our parents' generation,
yeah.
they can have, like, in a family of eight, in a
Only
family of
one
10,
person.
only one person
That's so bad.
is successful, and it now breeds that contempt from the siblings. Everybody now expects that person to, fend
Shoulder the
for them, even
responsibility.
at mature age. When you begin to get married, everybody has to go their separate ways, but then they still expect that person to, also fend for them, because yes, that you are my brother, so we are your brothers and sisters. We have to come first before your children. We're here, so it now brings that enmity. Then growing up, it now impacts that on the children, the kids. Everybody just begins to hate one of. It's a lot.
What was your experience like?
I feel, because I would say my dad was like the only successful child, but he was well to do compared to his siblings.
Okay.
So the rest, we didn't really mingle with them a lot. But while growing up, I noticed that my mom actually, like, she was like really fighting, because my dad is, because he's trying to balance his immediate family,
With
then he's trying
extended
to
family.
balance his extended family. You have to pay school fees for these children, and then you're paying school fees for my cousins. You're paying school fees for this, my auntie's daughter or my auntie's daughter. I mean, my mom is always trying to fight it, like, oh, yes, your children need to get the best. Okay, you can't be rationing what is meant for your children, because you also want to provide for the rest. You understand? So it was always a struggle. I'm not gonna
This is like
lie.
a general
Up
problem.
till this day.
But the thing is, right? It's she have said it all. That's basically what happens most of the time. It was the same thing for my mom's side,
Okay.
right? I have this uncle. He was so well to do, you know. At that time, that's why I said when you grow up, you will begin to see things and understand why people
Do
Behave,
what
do
they
what they
do.
do.
you
Exactly.
understand. He lives in UK. He's doing so well, and we'll be like, this uncle is too stingy. What's he doesn't. If he's coming back, he'll bring boxers. What do you want to do? What do you want to use boxers for? So as time goes on, and I moved to Europe initially, I was close to UK. The European
Yes.
Union, but UK broke out of the European Union. But I
Yeah.
understood their taxing system and all that, and I began to say, man, I don't blame this person. So you're right. It will make people feel like they are entitled. But in today's world, right, I feel like a lot of us now know how to take care of that situation. Our parents didn't really understand how to take care of that situation, because I feel like the best way to take care of that situation is not fending for those cousins. It's establishing their parents with a capital. You understand? So they can fend for their family.
Now,
But some people are lazy. I know you are.
yeah, yes, exactly. I was going to say that because even before we get to our modern world of what we are now and how we can change it or how we are changing it, I would say that the way our parents handled the situation was what was best known to them at the time, and it worked. I mean, no matter how you see it, even if you have this mindset that, oh, my dad is doing too much for the siblings, or your mom is doing too much for the siblings, or whatever. In their mind, that is what they know how to do. That's how they knew what to do. And for them, that was the best thing to do at the time, right? But then again, I would ask this question. Do you think what they did was, and this whole system of depending on one another or trying to help siblings and all that, is it cultural based? Will you say that is because of our system of living as a people that made this thing to be, that has perpetuated this kind of system, and it's as if it's moving from one generation to another? So if you think you have really broken away from it, maybe you have not.
Not necessarily.
Exactly. So what do you think? Do you think that this is like this is like this perception is based off on who we are as a people, or is it just based off on different families?
You said it all. It's not cultural based. It's we human beings, right? It's just normal phenomenon of life. If you have enough, you have to serve a purpose.
But it doesn't. This is it doesn't apply to everywhere.
It doesn't apply to everybody, but trust me, if you have bountifully, you would feel that need to serve a purpose. Even though you cannot help everybody, you understand, you will just have, you will be compelled to, because people will reach out to you because God's blessing is not hidden. You understand? They will see it that, okay, this person is well to do. Papa, all fingers are not equal.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
understand? But you're not going to do it in a way that will affect you. And you're not going to do it in a way whereby you see that they are taking advantage of you. And because you say, okay, I'm well to do, and okay, I want to be a good person, you just still have to help but be vigilant about it. So it's not what was happening in the era of our parents. It's not, I won't call it cultural stuff because, of course, the rich will also always extend an arm to the poor.
Okay. The time that your dad was catering for your cousins and your mom was, fighting for the rights of her own kids, which is actually very, very normal, like in any family. And then, did your dad's people portray your mom as a bad woman?
Right from the onset.
Yeah.
Because they are not from the same tribe.
Okay. Yeah. The tribe thing is another angle.
So
Yeah.
what tribe are they from, if I may ask?
My mom is
Yeah.
Calabash.
Oh,
Okay.
I
This
see.
Igbo.
Okay.
So Igbo people like
Oh,
girls to marry themselves.
Yes.
So there was this kind of like they just didn't. She was
Friction.
not
That
their
is
first,
friction. Yeah.
their choice. But obviously, love now they carry man, they go where you don't know.
Yes.
true, true.
So along the line, because he stood his ground, he said,
Yes.
"This is the woman I want." Obviously, everybody has to accept it whether they like it or not. But along the line, there were some frictions, kept going.
So now the friction, was it majorly because of the fact that she's not from your tribe, or did it increase based off on what she was doing to protect your rights as her kids?
I won't say it got better
Okay.
because at the initial stage, it was like there was no much understanding.
Yes.
It was much more. It got better while as we grew up. There was more relationship. There was more communication. There was more like understanding.
Okay.
But at the initial time when we were still very young, it was. I always thought it like.
And how did that affect you?
I mean,
Did it affect your relationship
yeah,
with your
my
cousins?
mindset
And
because at the point I'm like, when I go to ask my dad for pocket money for school, then it's like 5 naira, you give it 5 naira, and then you go to class, other people are coming with 20 naira, to
right.
class. And then you're like, God, why am I getting 5 naira? And then you now go and ask your mom. The mom will tell you that yes, you deserve 20 naira.
Insult into it. It's fine. See, this thing don't worry.
And then when she says that, what do you do?
Most times I feel, and then after hearing them arguing about that, I feel like obviously yes, he's also providing somewhere, and then sometimes I actually get angry because yes, I should get the best. This is my father. I should get the best from him. But at the same time, growing up, I try to understand that this life is not one-sided.
Right.
The person's heart can be so many places, so he can love his siblings so much. You don't know the relationship he had with his siblings that he would go out of his way to do anything for them, irrespective of him having a new family. So at the end of the day, it's more about communication. And once different people are coming from different backgrounds, there should be communication. There should be, I want to do this for this person. That's talk. You should talk about it. I think that our parents never really had that. Fathers will do whatever they want to do. This person will do whatever they want to do, and at the end of the day, it's my wife. She will understand.
Now, my concern about what you said when I asked whether this is cultural based or not. My perspective is different. I feel that our culture plays a very, very pivotal role in terms of how we behave. Do you understand? Because now we live in a Western world, right? You see how that these people don't send anybody. They don't care about if you are. Do you understand? This is not what they do. Once you turn 18 or whatever, you move out. And once you move out, you fend for yourself. So nobody is waiting to depend on anybody. Our culture is different. I will always say is route back to cultural based because I feel that everything that has happened is based off on who we are as a people. It's a system, and that's why even to break out is hard. Now, to the other point of what you mentioned, you talked about that you said something about you don't know what your father's siblings did for him. Now, that's another angle that I would like us to talk about. Some people do these things based off on how they were also helped by their own siblings. Now, we just like I have my siblings. I love them. I love them so much. My siblings, and we've been through a lot together. We know our differences and our similarities, right? There's some things that I know that I will have to I must do for my siblings, right? I mean, sometimes, in fact, I know somebody. I know a particular man that his elder brother saw him through school, right? Saw him through school, and he became wealthy. He himself became wealthy. When he became wealthy, his elder brother died. When he died, the family lost almost everything they had. So this man had to harbor the wife and the kids of his elder brother. Now, if you do not know the background story of that particular family, you will say maybe the wife will say, "Oh, you are no longer taking care of our family the way we would love to, or you are, we have to now share things with the other family, right?" Without knowing that this particular man is doing this thing, he had there's a background story to it, a sacrifice that he. So this is trying to cover the gap, right? Pay back what the favor that was given to him. So sometimes I understand that families can be so bad. They can be entitled. They can be domineering. They can want to be controlling. They want to put their eyes, in things that are not theirs. Sometimes the sacrifices of our fathers come as a result of the sacrifices that were made on their own behalf. Do you understand? So that's why I also believe that is based off on different families. But it seems to me that the most prevalent thing is this that these people.
Yeah.
It's that entitlement. It's just that.
So let's answer why. Like for me, why I
Yes,
think
yes,
it's more
it
on
is.
daddy's people,
Yeah,
right? Women, like you've heard that it's from her mom. Oh, I want the best for my daughter.
right.
I want the best for
Which
my
is which is
children.
actually the best thing
It's
she.
normal.
Yeah, very
So
normal.
every wife that this is my husband, have that sense of protection, right? They want to make sure that the external bodies will not run their husband dry.
Right,
So they will not go hungry or they will not in turn like lack what they are getting at the time. Because men can be so selfless when they help.
yes.
You know, my late father, right? He's always bring I lived with over 10 different families.
Really?
Yes. He will see a family that is stranded, he will bring them in, harbor them. Once they are set up, he will get the house for them, they move out. You find it another, and in doing this, even outside in his work, right? When he brings his income, he's going to divide it into three. give the families helping one, hold one, give my mom one. So men are just like that. So that's why I don't blame women when they start to like, oh, be careful of your spending. A good wife will want the husband to grow.
Yeah.
So that's why you see that attitude of, oh, mindful, oh, this your brother is always asking, is always asking. Now it's left to the husband to communicate. Just like you said, the wife might not know the hidden sacrifice why this man is going all out to help his siblings.
Yeah.
So it's left to the man to communicate. Okay, well, my brother was there for me when I didn't have. He gave up his wife fee for me to take my. There are
Yes.
different stories to it. So it's that communication that will make the women understand. But I don't feel like at that time, for every family, definitely, women will always like watch out for your father's own brother, watch out for his cousin, watch out for this. So it's all father side is always bad. He happened to my. So that's why I said I had to see for myself.
Yes.
Because my late dad was always helping his nephews.
Yeah.
His sister's son.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were not appreciative.
Mm.
They feel so
Entitled.
like he's doing very well. He should be able to give. They will demand, and he'll give them. They'll keep demanding. He got too much. I saw. They were young boys. To the point they threatened my dad. They carried cutlass and threatened my dad. Like, you must give them so amount.
You see the problem.
That's why I said I saw for myself.
Okay.
I said, okay, I don't want to associate with these people because it's not everybody that appreciates giving.
Right. That's true.
It sense.
And another thing why it's not the other side is because people hardly ask from women.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even like senior brother, you say I have a senior brother, I have a senior sister.
Yeah.
You prefer to ask your brother for help than to ask your sister who is married to somebody else.
Okay.
You know why?
I don't know.
So when a woman gets married,
yeah,
let's say for example your sister gets married, she's no longer part of your family. She's
in
part
a way,
of the new family.
Yes.
So every request will still revolve around the people that are member of this family. If you are not married now, we'll still be regarding you that okay, we can come to you and ask you because you are not married. We are still fending for you technically. Then we can reach out to you for some things. But once you are married, technically, we feel like you are not part of our family because your surname is changed already.
So the man that is married is not part of, still part of the family. I thought he had
the man you married.
No,
okay, like this brother, like he's my brother and he got married. He is part of the wife he married is part of our family now.
But his sister now is no longer.
My sister is no longer part of my family because she has a new surname. And is connected to this issue we are dealing with. It's connected to because once these ladies move to a new family, right? They are bearing this family's surname. The family first, and the family will like first feel attacked. Like this new person.
That's like a new person coming to territory.
That's why pressure will be high on their side. Now the said new lady that was bringing, will also want to mark her territory and make sure that okay, I choose this man, he's doing well, let them not come and run him down. I don't feel like that's where the root is from. That's shifting out from this family and coming into a new family.
Now, there are so many issues.
Yes.
So many issues surrounding this whole topic, right? Now, when somebody gets married, if for instance your sister gets married and gets to a new family, just like you've described, now the pressure of trying to choose between the husband's extended family and his own immediate family, just like you talked about your mom, trying to protect your interest as the kids. So now it's like a battle between trying to choose the husband, because of course you know how marriage is portrayed in Africa. Once you get married, you're getting married to the whole family, not just not just the husband and wife. Now, the battle of trying to choose your own immediate family and your husband's own family, that's a tough battle for a woman. And I think that's actually the genesis of this problem. Now, it comes from both ends. So if, for instance, my brother is married to you now, and I see that since my brother got married to you, his attention has reduced where I am.
land.
My brother does not call me again like that.
So are you angry?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because I'm a new man. I understand.
I know.
No, wait. No, wait now, wait.
Say you're a human.
Yes.
Fire.
Now, what I mean, I'm not old school. I understand how these things work. Once I get married, I believe that my attention span on my siblings will also reduce. I think that's just like natural thing that occurs. So now that you are here, I don't want to throw it to you to say because you may not have that experience, like to see whether you are trying to choose your husband's family, all of us, or your immediate family. Now I'm going to throw it back to you, like back in the days, maybe your mom or your sister or anybody at all that you've seen in your family that got married and was caught in that battle of choosing between their immediate family and their extended family. Because now the issue is no longer about whether you are married. You are married. Now the issue is the attention level. Who does it go to? And what friction does it cause when such attention is not carefully partitioned? You know?
I don't know if I actually have that experience, but I know people have that experience of like, when you get married, the mother-in-law.
Yes.
Like me as a woman now, my mother-in-law, she has like everybody wants you that she has a say in this marriage. Anything them say, if you're trying to like get pregnant or give birth, the mother-in-law say we must she must deliver very vaginally. Why me? I say me I want to have surgery and do a cesarean section. Then my husband now side my mother-in-law because this is mother.
Yes.
I follow what my support my mother. You know,
We will close for this. You see how I'm smiling? This is
in situations like that, because like the parents, like the mother-in-law has like a great say, and then the son usually likes to. Obviously, probably he's a mommy's boy, or I don't know, like their relationship, and then he wants to listen to her. He's now torn between listening to his wife
Yeah.
and listening to his mother. What can you like? What do you advise? Because sometimes it can get heated. Like arguments can come up. The wife can say, "I'm not doing this marriage again. It's either your mother leaves this house or I leave this house."
That's like you are just trying to open a bottle of canker. If you open that thing,
no, not necessarily. She just explained what technically happened, and it's very simple, right? Boundary,
mm,
boundary. This she can answer this question now, even though
maybe that experience is not there yet.
yeah, it's a simple case. Your immediate family should be your main focus.
Right.
You understand? I'm not saying you shouldn't help your extended family.
Yes.
But your let's say 70% of your focus now will be on your immediate family.
Absolutely.
Because you are building a family for yourself. You understand?
Yes.
I don't feel like it's debatable. You understand? Because when you walk and walk and walk and you feel like you want to distribute the attention evenly.
It's not possible.
That's why I don't blame her mom. I don't blame women sometimes for like saying, okay,
This is my territory. This is my territory. I have to protect it.
Because these are your immediate family. Your siblings that you are helping, when they grow up and get established, like I keep saying, nobody everybody gets sense. Some people are so selfish.
Yes.
You understand? Some people are not grateful. They will leave you hanging. Who is that person that will always remember you? It's your immediate family, your wife and children. That's how selfless men are. That's why you can't blame women for saying, oh, they are trying to tiger their territory. It's not jealousy. It's a sensible man and a sensible woman know that their main focus once they get married should be themselves, the immediate family. When there's no kid yet, then I understand, okay, they are trying to help. They are trying to help.
Yeah.
They got themselves, they are trying to help. But once you have a child, man, your focus would shift. If you are sensible and you have to do it with good communication with your spouse. That's what I feel. So that I don't feel angry like somebody's marking territory or not giving me too much. That's why I asked you, are you angry? Because he just got married. They got to know themselves. They got to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
They have to keep themselves company more. So all
And
those
that's
things that you usually do before, you won't really have the time to do it. To
yeah,
reduce drastically.
definitely. So and that's why I also give you the answer. Because it seems to me that the older generation is definitely different from our generation right now. The way that things were understood at the time is not the way the world has changed, obviously. But my problem now is this. It seems to me that now you may think that you've escaped some things. Quite all right, maybe you've escaped. You have cousins in the village who are doing that same part that your parents told. So it means that there will never be a time where we will say that we have really, really detached from that string of family problem, of getting people that are going to be angry at your success, or getting people that are going to be angry at the fact that you didn't help, getting people that are angry at the fact that your attention is no longer on them. So it's going to continue to be a circle. So once maybe now you are here, you have a new mindset about how to handle family. How about other people that are also in your family? How do you handle those people?
It's not. I feel like people give birth to a lot of children that they can't accord the same support, the same care for.
Back in the days or now.
Back in the days, obviously bearing children has reduced drastically now. You can't give birth to 8 children and ensure that you're looking at 8 people's homework at the end of the day. Because when growing up, I know when I had a mathematics homework, I go and meet my dad. When I have an English homework, I go meet my mom. And my mom always makes sure she checks everybody's homework already before we go to bed. But you have 8 children in different ranges. You have secondary school, primary school, nursery school. You want to tell me you make sure that 8 of them are doing their homework and they're doing it correctly? The level of attention is not just there, which makes some, at an individual level, they feel like they will work harder in order to achieve more. And at the end of the day, maybe just 1 or 2 or 3 will become successful out of the whole bunch. Wow. Because at the end of the day, I tell you, even at this part we are following, at this age, we are all 30s, 40s, we still don't know what we are doing with our lives. So you can imagine, this is the age where we get married, try to get our families. You don't know what you're doing. In fact, 20 somethings, 18s, they are getting married and they're having children.
Right.
They don't even know what they want to do with their life, and then impact on the next generation. So what are we talking?
So are you saying that um, the issue of entitlement from the father's side, if I will use that description, would not have an end? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that so I'm trying to draw a line. I'm trying to draw a line between how we can cut off that thing.
Cannot cut it off.
Well, in our locality, I don't know.
Are you saying that it's not possible?
It's not, because you actually said what is very similar to the answer. Is people will feel entitled, and it's not just from father side, mother side too. It depends. It varies.
Yeah.
But it's more on the father side,
Right.
because the mother is the new wife is protecting her own kids.
Yes.
Right. And again, I would say help with sense, because yes, people even today people still feel entitled. We are born with it. Some people we are all born with greed, selfishness, hate, love. You just have to
Focus
decide
and
which one you
develop
want
on
to
the area.
harness.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have to harness on the right one. So everybody have it in them. So if you are selfish with your own family, because if you used to do for the extended family before and they know, and now you're married and you want to do more for your immediate family, people will still complain.
Yeah.
People will still. When I was trying to get married, Baba, they know they approve anybody who I bring. Why? Because I found out I'm the one doing more for my mom and most of my sisters, right? I look out for them a lot. I'm a family oriented person.
Right.
So they were scared that okay,
Once
he
an
gets
hour.
married now, his attention will shift. So I got it got to the point I have to assure them that I cannot leave you people hanging. You understand? I'm a man now. I need to establish my own family. Doesn't mean I'll leave you hanging.
And it doesn't also mean that I'm like my attention is not going to be reduced anyways.
They know it reduced drastically. What I just did was try to establish them in a form whereby they won't be dependent on me constantly,
For
month to
everything.
month, like I used to do. Like I used to put them all on salary.
Yeah.
But the only person now that is on salary is my mom. But every other person, I make them understand. So it's a matter of you cannot break it, Baba. You cannot break it. People are who they are. The greedy ones are there. The self-centered ones are there. Evil is still in this world.
Right.
So if you are saying you want to break that line of family side feeling entitled, people will always feel entitled, even in today's world.
Even people that are not
as we
related
are, right?
to you are entitled.
It's just worse in Nigeria. In Nigeria, I'd say your source is the pepper person for body. You know, so it just depends, Baba. It depends.
Now, I understand that these things that we're talking about right now has a kind of friction that it creates in the family in terms of not just about the parents but the siblings. For instance, cousins of one side and the cousins of the other side, right? Now, being that the world is changing rapidly and most people are getting enlightened, most people are getting education, even though education does not sometimes say education helps, but beyond education is you understanding principles of life, right? That nobody will even teach you in the class. So there is this enmity that can also brew from the fact that you gave a very good example. If maybe amongst 8 siblings of our parents, maybe one person or two will be the ones that are well to do, then the other ones will depend on you. And then as you're growing up, you discover that if your dad maybe one day realizes that, because I have seen situations, maybe in other families, where somebody will help to the extent that the person will fall. You are helping, your hand will drop. You will not be able to continue doing that thing, right? And they'll be like, this one used to have money, nothing, nobody knows what happened, but we know what happened.
Have you heard the saying where somebody says, help I want selling phone and the person in the help one
Well, but do you understand? Exactly. So somebody will be helping, help. Helping is good. And you always say something, help with sense. But where is the line? There is a thin line between sense. That boundary is very thin.
It's boundary. If you understand these dynamics, you will understand this helping with sense that I'm talking about. Because, like I said, people will take advantage of you. People will come up with different stories.
At what level is the boundary supposed to be pronounced? Let me understand. So what are the issues?
No is the key word first.
To what? To what exactly?
You need to know how to learn how to say no first. Then when you hear their story, you will know if it's genuine. Your spirit will compel you to understand. You will be able to discern that, okay, this is genuine. And in today's world now, people will cook up story because they like to play on people's emotion, and they see that this person is a kind person, is always giving. That's when I say help with sense, because when they realize that, Baba, they will keep coming to you with story. This happened, I need this, I need that. You need to pay attention to know. You will know. If you start paying attention to this thing, you will know. But the key word is to start saying no. Because when you are saying yes every time, it happens majorly for people in diaspora. Family and friends. Some friends will be in Nigeria. They have like 5 to 8 or 5 to 10 friends abroad in different countries. Their job is just to cook story for them every month end. If this one send $50, this one send $80, you do know how much that is at the end of the month. So you need to know when people are genuine with their requests. Do you understand? Yes, you are giving for God's sake. That's what you are using to open your own door. But you need to also pay attention to know that, okay, this person are formatting they give. You understand? Even for your own family, extended family, you need to know when they are taking advantage. Because family itself, they take advantage.
Now that's the problem. That's a very big problem. Because you hardly know when you are being taken advantage of. You hardly know. Like I said, it's a thin line. If you're a good person and you have a large heart and you are always, giving, trying to make sure that everybody is fine. When family is strong,
Yes. Let me tell you
That's why I will continually say that this is not just about we. I've lived with these people, with the white
something.
Western people, right? I know how they behave. Right? I know the fact that they are not as accessible as we are. The large hearts we have
Right.
with our families. You know, when they call you and one has an issue, you want to move the world to make sure that everything is good.
Yes.
Now, this is how we are, and I will always say that it is cultural based, is our system. We were born into it because that is just we grew up knowing that. Or I would say once they raise you up, they put that mentality in you.
Family oriented.
Family oriented. That's the expression. Family oriented, right? At what point do you know that a family is taken? Because sometimes families have genuine issues, and maybe I would even say most times. Do you understand? But maybe what I would say is, from in my own opinion, maybe you don't have to be the someone told me something very funny.
If you try to be the El Shaddai,
You will die. Aside that, aside that, right? So someone told me, someone asked the question. You know when the Bible say, "Who will roll away the stone?" And you know they have strength. You want to roll away the stone. The stone will crush you.
Exactly.
So you should know the kind of stone that you roll away. What if those stones are heavy at every time it comes?
Guys, see. Wisdom is profitable to man. Let me explain something to you. Right? I was at that point, right? Everybody I was sorting outside the monthly sorting formats will come
Yeah.
before the monthly sorting. So I said to myself, right? I started telling them, okay, oh, I have challenges now, right? This income, this support will
Reduce, yeah.
You give them notice ahead. But before I finally start reducing for two of my sisters, I had to establish, support them with something to let them know, okay, oh, this is a one time giving you, do something with it. Even though they lavish it and waste it. But what I kept doing, I did it twice. And I said, okay, oh, establish yourself. Tell me what you want to do, establish yourself. Because I have challenges here that I'll face. So this income will not come again. I was preparing their mindset. But what helped me more is the fact that I know in Nigeria you cannot suffer. You know get as it. Your rent is annually, right? They won't keep, we are paying the monthly bill we pay here, right? Is their annual bill. They pay it annually. So I just felt like, see, Nigerians are doing okay. People in Nigeria are doing okay. There's hardship, but Nigerians are hardworking people. So with that understanding and establishing them and watching their lifestyle too, watching how they are doing things they post, they will not realize. I watch all these things. I say, okay, if I come on hand, they will do. That's what you have to. That's why I say you have to help with sense and you have to pay attention, be vigilant. So that's how I ended it. It doesn't mean when I'm so happy and I have bountifully, I will not remember them and say, take this. It doesn't mean when they have a baby, I won't send something and say, oh, celebrate with them and give them something. But that expectation monthly, I had to cut it off. The only person I need to expect something monthly from me is my mother. If my father was alive, it would be the same thing. My parents would be my main priority because yes, they've done their part to raise me and get me to where I am today. And in return, I have to do for them. That's that family orientation that we have in Nigeria, but it's different here. Here, they thrive on your own mentality. So you just need to know when to cut it. Watch them, but the Nigerians will survive regardless. They will survive. So you just need to know when to cut it off, when to reduce it. Is this story really legit? If they tell you, you call other people, do your findings to make sure they are not taking advantage of you. Because every story they bring to you will be so touching. Challenges will be so heavy. And just like you said, when the stone is too heavy to roll, what do you do? But you know, fit yourself. You know, they the same, you know, they. Because you have bills here too.
Right.
Yes, and now when you become millionaire, anything, any billing and format, you can chest it.
Even
And say,
millionaires sometimes.
millionaire sometimes will tire, will say, okay, my think am. But you when you say you still dey struggle, you understand, and you have the spirit of giving, you need to learn to say no. Oh no, no, I can't. I don't. I have challenges. I have things I have to take care of. I won't be able to. You need to harness that ability to say no. Then you will truly understand people that, because some friends go they call you back to back from Nigeria, even here. Some friends go they follow you up back. Oh, how is it going? Because they get waiting the fee get from you. Oh, come and help me. I break down here. You hop out here. But if you ask them for help, they can't. But let's take Nigeria. Let's live here. Take Nigeria. You go see a friend in Nigeria will be reaching out to you every time. Ah, brother, how you go today? Following you up back to back. Because you know, say once in a while, they knock you billing, you will respond. You will give. Once in a while, you give. So you go to follow up, say, okay. The moment you tell that friend, no more, I get challenge. Oh. The moment you tell her no twice from your request, you will see that call to follow up will reduce. That's how these are the things I'm saying you put in place to know who is who.
Now, you've said something very important, the power of saying no.
Yes.
And you can agree that that power, we don't have it yet. Not everyone has it. Some people have it. The power of saying no is not something that we grew up knowing.
Yes.
So we grew up knowing that we have to please everybody. That is.
I'm sorry, don't get me wrong, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no to everything.
No. I'm coming. I'm just trying to check a balance, right? I'm saying that the general rule is even that we have to please everybody. So the exception is now when you have to learn how to say no, and that's why I said that is a life principle that we need to learn, and that nobody will teach you. Is either you're learning from experience, from your personal experience, or you're learning from someone else's experience. So for someone who is not used to saying no, who is still trying to be salvaged from people's opinion, who is still trying to get independence from people's opinion, that is a hard one to chest. So how do you, because whether you like it or not, that strong ties between you and your family still is there. And you know how you're saying it. Oh, maybe you've gotten to that level where to say no is now part of you.
For me, it came with
Experience.
When I hit a certain
Age, okay, fine.
I had an eye opener, and from then I began to harness how to say no to people, because you then start to realize I was so selfless here and back home.
You say was? Yes, it's selfless.
You understand?
Maybe you
No,
was.
I will, see, my selflessness was extreme. Everybody, Henry, I will turn off my app, go help person. I will come off for work, go help person. I break down here. I want to go buy a car. Come and take me to Washington. Come and take me to Indianapolis. But I'm all over the place helping. Because yes, if I call you my friend, I help you. When I hit age 30, right, I began to pay attention. I began to realize people take advantage.
Yes.
You understand?
You know how they say you lie down for people to work on you. They will say that you're not flat enough.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where the boundary comes in. So that's when I hit age 30, I started creating boundaries. I started saying, no, I don't get a chance. I did this before, but I'm telling you, I get the spirit of helping even now, or before. Ask Bobby or ask somebody that know me. I will just put myself out there. So anybody can reach me there. No, it's sure for them. Say once they come tell me I need this, I go appear.
Yeah, again, I'll keep referring back to where we come from. The system that we grew up from is a huge influence on what we have turned out to be. So what we try to do right now is trying to unlearn and learn new things. And this aspect of saying no in this place, in this country, is a cultural thing. People tell you upfront what they cannot do. And they say it, and you know that there is no animosity in their hearts. Do you understand? It's something that they tell you, oh, this is not convenient. I'm not able to do this for you right now. And everybody moves on. But that's not how it is. Yes. So yes. So that's a very. So I just feel that this is something that people need to learn. So, but I would say that it's hard to learn. Maybe some people will never learn it until they leave their location and come to a place when they will have experience to say, somebody will tell you no in your front, and you'll be like, wow, people still really say no, and the next thing they are telling you something different, and you just know that there's no hard feeling.
Not necessarily education. When they attain some certain level of responsibility. Because person wey no get money, you understand, you go dey feel entitled. Go dey look person wey get money say okay or you get why you no wan help. That's that sense of entitlement. So that no go make am be like say you get why is he being wicked? Just like the sense of like, oh, why is my uncle bringing boxers?
Yeah.
Not knowing that tax they kill them for UK. It was when I went when I lived in Europe and they started taxing me for my car. They'll send me a bill to pay like tax, monthly tax for using a car. And I made research and found out UK was even worse. Baba, since that day I know the best for my uncle. Yes, and so some sense of responsibility will make you
Yes.
understand that yes, you should be able to say no. And if somebody say no to you, you shouldn't be angry. That's just it. That's just the truth.
That's very important. You said a very important thing. Now, I would like us to talk about the fact that now we are, maybe we've seen things that go on in our different families, and now you're able to choose, to pick and choose the things that can ultimately follow you to your new family,
Right.
and the things that you want to quickly drop. You don't want it to follow you at all because that's not a good value. So you want to build a value-based family, right? Do you think there is a place that we can, as people that are trying to, forge things ahead, create new family, create new values? Do you think we can strike a balance between the old and the new in terms of whether family relationships, or whether entitled people? Do you think that there is a place we can strike a balance between that? Because, like I told you, the old will still remain there.
Yes.
They will never, as you are, if you are here, you have people at home. So that's before we are not able to totally get off from that upon string, right?
Yes.
So, but do you think that even as you are trying to forge a new family, forge new values, do you think you can strike a balance between the modern and the old?
Yes.
In what
Two
way?
factors.
Yeah.
Right. Just like you said, unlearning that stuff you feel like will not help you in your new family. Unlearning that stuff that at this age you've seen that it didn't help your family,
Yeah.
right? And again, boundary. That is the two factor that I believe that you can use to like navigate through to feel like you have a balance. But and you can't truly get a balance. But if you apply on learning the stuff that are not useful and apply boundary, you should be fine. Because people are who they are. It's happening in today's world. In today's world, people still feel entitled. Back home, people still feel intimidated by your success. People still feel like, oh, why is he not helping me? So all those behaviors, you still find them in today's world. So that's why I say the two factors you can use is boundary and unlearning.
Yeah, what
That's
do you
why
have to say about that?
I think in every step of the way, we should like take life, like tread life with caution.
Yeah.
Take caution in everything you do, because obviously your actions will impact, what's the outcome of whatever your life is going to be.
Yeah.
So if you feel like this is how I want to bring up my family, this is how I want to maintain these values,
Yes.
you're just going to pass it on to the next generation. So it's just in our hands. If you want to change stuff, you have to actively change stuff. If you want to maintain stuff, you can actually maintain. It's definitely up to you. For me, I would do whatever makes you sleep well at night. Honestly.
So, because I feel that this is important, right? Marriage comes with responsibilities, right? And striking a balance is something that most people have not been able to learn how to do. And so, as a matter of fact, when the balance, when the scale tilts more towards an area, the other area that is less tends to bring the problem, right? Tends to see, oh, the focus is not. So, but then how can, like, spouses, I know you've talked about boundary, you've talked about unlearning, but are there other ways that spouses, we trying to build new families, can protect our family and also balance it with our cultural requirements?
protect your immediate family.
Yes, and also balance the extended family. Yes.
That one is the communication I spoke about.
Okay.
Communicating with your spouse. But and again, you both understanding that your focus is the two of you. with your children. This is your new family. So communication is the key to be able to navigate, because I've been there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not vast in my experience, but to the best of my knowledge, I feel like what leads to failed marriages is two factors: finance and external
Influence.
influence.
Yeah.
So if you can communicate with your spouse and you both understand that you are in this together, you are each other's focus, right? Whatever, Baba, nobody is perfect.
Of
First of
course.
all,
Of course.
right? With communication, there's bound to be misunderstanding, but with communication, you'll be able to strike an understanding. If you can achieve that with your spouse, right, and shut out external
Voices.
influence and voice when it comes to your home, you are leading. You are leading one home. Then the other factor, if you can apply it, like which is the communication, which is the boundary, which is finance. If you can communicate your financial goals with each other, if you are transparent with them, or you reach an agreement how
You're
you
going to.
plan to handle finance in your union, and you're both okay with it, shoot. Then you will be able to, when you cover that ground, you'll be able to know how to extend arms to external family, husband side, wife side,
Website.
because you will still, regardless, you will still help.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
But your main
That's a given.
priority is you and your spouse. So,
Let me go spiritual.
Yeah. 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 Go ahead.
So the Bible says, a man shall leave his family and
His
cleave.
wife, his mother and father. Yes, and cling to his wife.
So some people don't even leave their family at all. You know, you need to understand the dynamics when you're going into marriage.
Right.
You're looking for your family. This is your number one. This is your priority. Some people don't. In fact, some people live like they are still single.
Right.
They still live like they are. It's my life. I can live my life. Meaning, but you have a responsibility. You're the head of this family. It's either you make it or you break it. So people don't seem to get that. Yeah, they still tend to live in such a way that obviously there will now be some friction, disagreements in their immediate family. So I feel like once you're able to settle your immediate family is happy. You say a happy
Wife is a
wife
happy
is a
home.
happy.
nah, you're right.
You see the problem?
Nah, you're right.
I'm talking about it from no.
You see, one thing I noticed, right? Listen, it goes
Okay.
both ways. If there's understanding, see,
Do you know what they said?
Baba, let me explain. I don't want to delve into, or I don't want to pivot into this particular topic.
People
Right? Listen, no, see, let me explain something to you, right? Women still don't understand that men are the prize.
Wow. We are opening. You're opening a different side.
Yes, women don't understand, right? What women, let's say we are dating now, right? What you have control over is, oh, I will date him, right? Oh, I will have sex with him. Women have control over sex, right? But if the man does not propose to you in 10 years, in 5 years, there's no way you will get married to him. Man, now in the control marriage. Now, man will decide, say, okay, I want to marry this girl. Woman will only decide, say, okay. So, for example, now, you as a guy, you're chatting up 10 girls, right?
10.
I'm giving you an
That's
example.
an instance.
No, I'm giving you an example. You as a girl, you are chatting up 10 guys. For you, you are telling the 10 girls the sweet things to see who agree to give you sex. Now that one will agree to give you sex, now you go have sex with. For the woman, it's different. Those 10 guys, they tell her sweet things. Now she go choose, say, okay, I like this. This one tell me what I truly like. This one fine. Now she go choose who she want have sex with. You are hunting. They are choosing when it comes to sex. When it comes to marriage, now the man, oh, now the man they look out for what I'm truly looking for in a woman. With that, and they are looking for two things: peace and respect. And yes, some stupid men are there. Don't get me wrong. Not be everybody gets sense. Some men that will say they want peace, they cannot give that peace. Respect is reciprocal. I like to ask for what I can give. You understand? But not everybody can give the same. Women today want that marriage. You understand? But they don't have that mindset, that character to hold on to that marriage. That's why I said I don't want to pivot.
Like yeah, like you said,
It's very broad.
it comes in
And
both
it
ways.
triggered me when you said
A happy wife is a happy home.
I don't agree with that. It's truly a happy
Couple.
man, a happy see.
No, that means no. Both couple.
Truthfully,
Yeah.
that's why I said men are the prize, but women don't realize it. You understand? But if you both are happy, if you see, that's why the Bible said a man should love his wife,
and the woman should respect the husband.
The Bible didn't say woman love you because they no say woman. Let me.
It's okay.
Wait. Let me give you a simple instance, right? Let me give you a simple instance. Since we were going back to our forefathers, the time of our fathers, to bring the example. In our father's time, right? They will take a very young girl to go betrothed to a chief that is doing well, to a man that is doing well. The girl is young, he has not met this man before. They take this girl to the man's house. The man will start loving this girl. What do you think will use the love that this man have for this girl? It's the respect that this girl is giving. They don't know themselves before, but they are now betrothed as husband and wife. The girl brings respect into that home, and the more the girl respects the man, in return, the man continuously show love to this girl. And you see those couple now, they will end up till they stay till
years upon years upon years.
Their children
and
end up very happy.
I really think that's how our parents were able to build their home.
That's why the Bible puts it like that. Say, woman, respect your husband. Man, love your wife. Respect is the fuel to that love. And how do men love? They're just selfless. They want to make sure that their wife is catered for.
Yeah.
They provide everything. They provide food, shelter, skill. But in today's world, some women just misunderstand it. That's why I don't want to really go into that aspect because it triggers me. You understand?
We're going to have a different topic on this issue. Very broad.
Yes.
And then we can dive deep into it.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
Another question. So please, it's understanding. Let's just say it's understanding.
Yes.
Both parties understand themselves. You have a happy home.
Right.
Communication and understanding.
I mean, so you guys have actually dealt with this topic. So, like I said before, the topic is navigating family dynamics.
Right.
When it has to do with the father's side of the family, which we have agreed to an extent that
Right.
our culture and our traditional system play a pivotal role in doing this. And one thing I took from this section is the power of saying no.
Yes.
Boundary.
Yes.
Is something that I think is one thing that if we bring it and harness that particular attitude, right, and build it in. When you say no to somebody, you genuinely know that you are not able to do something when someone asks you to do it, and you say you're not able to do it. It doesn't mean that. I just hope so. If you understand that saying no will hurt that person, you say it regardless, but from a place of love.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just like let's go back to the heavy stone you talk about.
Yeah.
Right? Rolling the heavy stone.
Yes.
If you don't have the strength to roll the stone,
you can't.
You form like you have the strength.
That's the point.
You have no choice.
Some people form that they have the strength and they die. They die trying to roll the stone.
So
have you seen that stone? That stone that used to cover Jesus' grave. One person could not. He was an angel that used his finger to roll it up. So, but there was no way somebody, even the soldiers, would have rolled that stone away.
Yeah.
So, I think you guys really did well on this topic, and I want to appreciate you for coming